All right, what's poppin', y'all? It's your boy DeAndre.
It's your boy Bailey. We're back. Week
Back
4.
with week 4. It has
4.
been a crazy marathon so far. I feel like it's gonna be hard to keep this up, but hey, I started, so I'm gonna finish it. We're gonna make sure we keep pivoting with the prowess, and make the process worthwhile.
Giving you guys these good picks here. It's about a quarter way of the season already. It's slightly depressing. You know,
It's a good because we win some money, more money to be won, but that's about it. But good things been going on. We've been making some money lately. We've been winning these bets. Hopefully I've been keeping up with the locks because the locks have been locking.
and we're being consistent.
Exactly.
Putting out the videos, putting out the locks.
Exactly.
Follow us.
Exactly. There's not too many locks this week, but we're gonna get right into it. So, first game, Thursday night football. Detroit Lions at the Green Bay Packers. The Lions are what's their record?
The Lions are
Lions
2 and 1.
2-1, and the Packers are 2-1 as well.
Yep.
Um, the
Green.
line is Lions minus 2.5. Now, I think the Lions cover this. They're really good this season. The Packers are good at home. That's the only thing I'm gonna stress. The Packers are really good at home. I mean, they have a new quarterback, of course, but I think this is the Lions. They're taking over. They're taking it over. The one game they lost is pretty close. And yeah, I think I'll take Lions minus 2.5.
I'm gonna take the Packers here Thursday night, short week. I mean this is a tough game. It's weird to see the Green Bay Packers as a underdog at home on a Thursday night. That's a weird line to me. You really don't see that. You haven't seen that in the past. Both coming off pretty big wins, but I'm gonna take the Packers and the points just because they're at home.
First game this Sunday
In
is
London.
in London. The Atlanta Falcons at the Jacksonville Jaguars. The Jaguars are -3. The Jaguars had a horrible loss last week to the Houston Texans. They're on the back scale of things. They're trying to re-up and catch up to the rest of the AFC teams because they want to get back to the promised land. So Jacksonville -3. I think they had a horrible defeat last week. Trevor Lawrence played awful. The D played awful. Like everyone was just bad. Like I needed the Jaguars to win that game. I thought that was one of the locks that I messed up on. But they didn't come through with it. So and the Falcons look pretty good, but I think the Jaguars come back this week. They're coming with a vengeance. This is technically a home game for them. Technically, even though it doesn't matter. But I think they come back. Jacksonville is just like this all the time. They're gonna play good, bad, good, bad. I think this is a good week, so I'm taking them.
I'm also going to take Jacksonville. They're pretty much a London team at point. I believe they're going to stay there for 2 weeks and play in London 2 weeks in a row. They're used to
Why is
this
it?
because they just have 2 games in a row in London.
They do?
Yeah, so they're going to be
What?
staying there
Why
for
did they
two
do that?
weeks.
So weird.
That's Jacksonville is technically like the team located in London. They've actually supposedly thought about moving Jacksonville to London to have a team there.
Might be a mess.
So it's a de facto home game for the Jaguars. They're used to it. Coming off a bad loss, I'm going to take the Jaguars -3, and I think this is going to be a low scoring game.
Yeah, very low scoring. So if you want the lock for the under, it's under 40. It's over under 43. Take the under.
Yeah, London.
London. Next game is Miami Dolphins at the Buffalo Bills.
Game of the week, I think.
It's probably going to the game of the week. Yeah.
Should be good.
Dolphins are 3-0. Bills are 2-1. Bills look great after the first opening loss to the Jets, which is atrocious. They should be 3-0. But this game is Bills -2.5. So Dolphins are the underdogs. I think that the Dolphins they look like a different breed of a team, but I think the Bills actually are going to stop them in their tracks and bring them back to reality. Oh, there goes gravity. Oh, there goes Bat City. I ain't gonna get into it, but you get my point. Buffalo -2.5. They're getting back on track, and they're going to bring the Dolphins back on their track.
Yeah, both teams coming off scoring a lot of points. This will be a good divisional matchup. I actually think the under here might be the play because a lot of people are going to be betting over. But that's a little nugget there. I know it sounds weird coming off a team that just scored 70 points. But I think Buffalo is going to handle Miami. They'll be at home. It'll be a tough matchup. And then I think Miami returns the favor when they play later in Miami. So I'm going to take Buffalo -2.5.
Next game is Washington Commanders at the Philadelphia Eagles. Eagles are -8. Sam Howell been pressured and sacked. I think the most out of any quarterback this season so far. And the Eagles' defensive line is looking crazy.
Yeah.
I mean, they look insanely. It's ridiculous. The Eagles was a lock last week, if y'all remember that. So -8. I'm taking the Eagles -8 just because Sam Howell is average to me. The receivers haven't done anything this year. Like the Washington Commanders really haven't done much. They beat the Cardinals, and that's about it. No, they lost to the Cardinals. Or did
They beat the
they beat the
Cardinals. They
Cardinals,
beat
and
the
they beat
Broncos.
the
So they've had a
Broncos. So they
really
haven't really
easy
done anything.
schedule.
Yeah, they haven't done anything.
They got blown out last week by Buffalo. So
So I'm thinking they're gonna, get back to reality as in 500 because they're a 500 team, and they're gonna keep it there, and they're gonna lose this game by more than 8.
I'm going to take the Eagles here. They haven't had that coming out party of blowing a team out. And I think this is the week they do that. I think they get over the hump. They've kind of played teams pretty close. So I think the Eagles, get that blowout win here. So I'm going to take Eagles -8 as well.
Next game is the Minnesota Vikings at the Carolina Panthers. Battle of the 0-3 teams. Which team is going to be 0-4 and their season's officially going to be over? Because teams that came back from 0-3 to make the playoffs, but not 0-4.
Yeah.
And I think that's the Panthers. Sadly, I think this game won't be close. Andy Dalton starting quarterback again. Actually, I think this game will be close. Andy Dalton starting quarterback again. I'll take Panthers +4.5, although I think they will lose the game. Andy Dalton played better than Bryce Young before the season. He can kind of, he can sling it from Bryce at this point. I don't know what's going on with Bryce Young. I don't know what's in his head. I don't know if he's seeing ghosts. I don't know what's going on with this man, but he looks lost and dazed and confused out there, and it's sad to watch because I really wanted them to pick CJ Stroud first. With that being said, hopefully they lose all their games, and then they can select Caleb Williams and trade Bryce Young to somebody else, and they'll be good after that. So, in the meantime, Panthers +4.5.
Wow. Okay. I'm going to actually take the Vikings here. I think this is an easy bet. Carolina overall is a bad team. I know they'll be at home, but the Vikings are hungry for a win. They've played a lot of close games. They just have fallen on the bad side of those close games. I think Vikings take care of business here and get back on track a little bit. So, Vikings.
Next game is Cincinnati Bengals at the Tennessee Titans. The Titans are +2.5. The Bengals finally got their first win this past week, which is good, as I figured they would.
Back on track.
Back on the tracks. And I think they stay on the tracks. The Titans, I think they've lost Derrick Henry. No, they just haven't been really using Derrick Henry that well. Tannehill hasn't playing the best. I mean, they've been about very average team, and I think the Bengals are an above average team with the better quarterback. And, Joe Burrow might be banged up a little bit still, but I think last week he proved that, Jamar Chase had 150 receiving yards or something like that. And, he showed that they just had a fluke second week of the season. So I'm taking the Bengals -2.5. That is close to a lock, but the Bengals are iffy this season. So
scary line here, +2.5, I think, but I'm also going to take the Bengals. The receivers are going to, cause some trouble to that secondary, I believe, and I think they put a win here. I think they need it more. Tennessee's kind of just on the back burners. So I'm going to take Cincinnati -2 as well.
Next game is Baltimore Ravens at the Cleveland Browns. Browns are -3. This is going to be a good game as well. Divisional games getting ramped up this week. The Ravens, they just be playing like this too, man. They just
Up
be
and
like
down.
this.
Yeah,
It can't be consistent. I don't know about this game, to be honest. What you think, man?
I'm going to take the Ravens plus the points. I think, all these, I think, NFC North or AFC North games are just blood matches. It's a really good conference this year, so they're beating each other up. I think it's going to be a close game. Baltimore always plays Cleveland pretty well, so I'm going to take Baltimore. I'm going to trust in Lamar plus the points. So Baltimore, yeah.
I'll take the game to be close, but I'll take the Browns -3 and fade you just because I think they put Lamar on the hot seat after this game. Deshaun Watson been playing a little better, slow as the season, been playing better, and I think this is the game where he kind of shows people who he was and who he is compared to Lamar Jackson before he got his way pushed out of the Texans, because at that point people were saying Deshaun was better. So I think he comes back to that true form and they take care of business.
Speaking of Deshaun and the Texans, the next game we have is the Steelers at the Houston Texans. The line is Houston at home +2.5. What do you think about that?
I think the Steelers are on a roll, man. Tomlin got him back on track. I think he got him. I keep saying back on track. Good Lord. They got him going in the right direction. And I don't think the Texans fooled people twice in a row. I think that was like a, lightning in the dark type stuff.
Yeah.
So this might be my lock of the week, honestly, is Steelers -2.5. Just I don't see Houston doing that 2 weeks in a row. Like they're not there yet, but they show good signs.
I'm going to take the Steelers as well. I think, they're the more experienced team, they're the more experienced coach. I mean, Houston they're too young, they're too inexperienced. They had a good week last week, but I don't see that rolling over into a more sound team. So I'm going to take Pittsburgh -2.
I do see this game be high scoring. I do. Next game is the Los Angeles Rams at the Indianapolis Colts. The Colts are +1. All these close spreads this week.
Yeah, dialing in on
yeah.
this.
The Colts, they have Anthony Richardson.
I don't know if he'll be back this week. It's up in the air, I believe. So it'll either be Minshew or Richardson.
If Minshew is playing, then I'm picking the Rams. Period. I think the Rams. They kept it close last Monday night. No, they won against the Bucks. They beat the Bucks.
No, the Rams played the Bengals and they
played
lost.
the Bengals.
So they were in Paycor.
The Bucks and the Bengals lost. As I mix them up because there was 2 Monday night games. Got me confused.
Bucks and Rams lost, but yes.
But I think the Rams take this. The Colts without Richardson, I just think they're another team. Minshew looked horrible, and that's about it for me.
I'll take the Rams too. I know they're kind of hurting at receiver, and it's kind of tough, and really the running back spot's not good for them. These are two, I think, non-playoff teams. LA is a ghost of the past from when they won the Super Bowl. But I think they pulled out here against a less experienced Colts team, less experienced coach. So I'll take the Rams.
Next game is Tampa Bay Buccaneers at the New Orleans Saints. The Saints are -3.5. Beyonce was in New Orleans last night.
They had it lit up there. She shut down the stadium. Then she shut off the lights in that stadium.
That wasn't Beyonce doing that in the stadium. She wasn't the halftime performer for the Super Bowl.
Yes, she was.
Not that season. She was the halftime Super Bowl performer for the Panthers game because that's when you did it with Bruno Mars. Wait, is that?
It was Beyonce.
With the 49ers in the
Baltimore.
Never mind.
Beyonce. I'm a bigger Beyonce fan than this guy. He doesn't know. Just secretly.
Shut off the lights, and she was up there recently, so I think the lights might go out again.
Are the Bucks going to turn out the lights on the Saints this game, or what do you think?
I think these both trash quarterbacks, in my opinion. Look, they're respectable to a degree, but it's somebody got to win the game. It could be a tie. I mean, I might throw the tie.
Oh my!
But no, I'll pick
Those odds are crazy.
I'll pick the Saints, just because Beyonce blessed them recently, and she was just there, and she decided not to go to Tampa Bay. So I'm picking the Saints, and that's about it.
I'm making this.
-3.5.
I'm making mine quick. I'm going Bucks +3.5. I don't know if the Saints are going to have Derek Carr, but
they won't.
I don't know if they are. They may or may not hew out. And if Jameis is playing, I'm definitely taking the Bucks because that boy's throwing a couple interceptions.
Okay, if Jameis is playing,
the Bucks are going to.
Then I'm picking the Bucks. Yeah, because they're going to be out there, squandering his little homecoming-ish, whatever you want to call it.
With that line, though, I think Carr might be back because I don't think they would be favored like that with Jameis. But I'm still taking the Bucks, baby.
Yeah, I think they'll put Taysom Hill in there and take it off, but we'll see. Next game is Battle of more losers. The Denver Broncos at the Chicago Bears. Now, unfortunately, this game is on most channels. There's most people's TVs throughout the country this week because I checked. So most people will have to succumb themselves to watch this battle of the trash bags and trash cans and recycling bins. But the Chicago Bears are +3.5. Man, this game is going to be rough.
It is going to be rough.
Don't bet your money on this game right here. Do not do it to yourself, man. Save yourself the stress, heartache, and pain. I already bet anything on this game. Justin Fields rushing yards. That's about it. But besides that, I'll take the Bears. I think they can't get much worse. I mean, they got depleted every single week so far, and they're playing another depleted team. So give me the Bears this week, man.
Yeah, I mean, these teams both lost by 30-plus points this past week. So I'm going to take the Broncos. I hate it. -3.5. It's a terrible bet. But I'm going to take it. And that's what I'm riding with. That's how I'm feeling. I'm going to take the Broncos. I just can't bet the Bears. So.
Next game is the Las Vegas Raiders at the Los Angeles Chargers. Chargers are minus 5.5-point favorites, and I actually like that line because Jimmy Garoppolo showed me his true colors last week. I was a believer in Garoppolo for a very long time just because he was winning and winning and winning, but last week kind of woke me up. I got slapped and the music stopped playing, and I was like, "Oh, this is who this dude is." And he ain't nothing special. And I think I've seen all I need to see from Garoppolo. I think they're gonna lose this game, and it's gonna pivot to even more talks of Devontae Adams soon getting out of there. I think it's just like slowly a spiral. This is like the avalanche coming down the mountain, and it's just not stopping. And I think last week kind of just was the start of the little bit coming, and this week it piles and piles and piles. They might cover the game, but I don't. My soul was telling me not because the Chargers they got their first win and they're just gonna trying to get bounce back to their true form. And I take the Chargers minus 5.5.
I'm gonna also take that Chargers minus 5.5. The Chargers really love to play close games, and I think play down to their competition and play up to their competition. So, I mean, I think they're gonna pull it out. They're not gonna have Eckler this week, I don't think. So that's kind of hurting them. But I mean, it's the Raiders. It's Jimmy Garoppolo. They can't run the ball, so that doesn't help Jimmy. So I'm gonna take the Chargers minus 5.5. I think they actually win big. So
Okay.
Chargers.
Next, that might be a lot too. Next game is the Arizona Cardinals at the San Francisco 49ers. The 49ers are minus 14
At home.
at home. I picked them as my survivor pick this week. They better survive. Look, the 49ers going to win this game. It's just by how much. The Cardinals have been playing well, so I'll give them that. And I think that the Cardinals actually keep it close for a bit, but I think the 49ers eke away at the end. I'll take 49ers minus 14. I like Josh Jobs, what he's been doing. He's definitely, I think he deserves to be the starter over Kyler Murray when he comes back at this point. Because Kyler Murray probably, I think he should be. It's about the play, and unfortunately they gave him a lot of money, so
That's
it's like
thing,
you
yeah,
have
that's
to
why I
play
say
the
that.
guy.
Yeah,
So
that's fine.
I think the 49ers win this one by about 14 points, like maybe like a 16, 17 points, and you know that'll be it. But yeah, 49ers.
I like that as well. The Niners are rolling. They're probably the best looking team so far.
They do look
They
like
got
the
the 3
best.
0
Yeah.
record. They're kind of blowing teams out. I mean, you get an Arizona team coming off a huge win. I mean, no one saw that coming. That locker room's hyped up. They believe, but they haven't played the 49ers. I think coming off a big win, you don't practice as hard. You maybe party a little bit the day after the game. So the Niners are a locked in squad. They'll be at home, Niners.
Next game is New England Patriots at the Dallas Cowboys. This game will also be on a lot of people's television sets.
Yeah, big names here.
Now, the Cowboys are minus 6.5. They had a horrible loss last week. Probably the worst loss, going to be the worst loss of the season, in my opinion. They're still one of the better teams in the league. I just think, you have blunders like that every now and then.
Yeah.
Because they probably slept in the Cardinals, it's as everyone else does. I'll take the Cowboys minus 6.5. I think Mac Jones is trash, horrible garbage. Get him out of their coach, Bill Belichick. You got about maybe this season, and if you want to pay him again next season, do that. But then that'll be it for the Mac Jones experience. I didn't say experiment, but it's both an experience and experiment. Cardinals, Cowboys minus 6.5.
I'm taking the Cowboys too, and I think the lock is the under in this game. You get Bill Belichick, great defensive coach. You get the Cowboys, a great, great defense. The under, I think, is the lock.
Diggs is out though too, so
Diggs is out, but they're still a great defense. Coming off a loss, they're going to be whipped back into shape. Those boys are going to get ready down at home in Dallas, and Mac Jones can't score the football, so I'm going to take the under and minus 6.5 Dallas.
Sunday night football is the Kansas City Chiefs, where Beyonce's gonna be at Sunday, Kansas City. Sunday or Saturday. It's her last show on the tour. Go check it out, you and KC. At the New York Jets. The Jets are plus 9.5 to Sunday night football. Go ahead, take this one, man.
Taylor Swift is gonna be in the building. Tickets are skyrocketing. I'm gonna be in the building. DeAndre might be in the building. We'll see. Who knows? I'm excited for this game. I'm going to be at it. I mean, it's my hometown team in the town that I live in now. Zach Wilson is getting booed. People are yelling. Their teeth are falling out on TV at the Jets. I think this is another big win for Kansas City. I think it might be lower scoring, but if you can't score the football, you're not going to be able to score with the Chiefs and beat the Chiefs. They have Mahomes, best quarterback in football. The receivers are coming along. Taylor Swift in the building. That mojo is crazy. So Chiefs minus 9.5. It's the Taylor Swift era in effect. Chiefs, baby.
If they could have flexed this game out, they would have, but they can't do that till maybe like midway through the season. So they would have put this game out of there. But because they thought, Aaron Rodgers is going to be here. Zach Wilson, he's playing another monster this week. I don't know if I don't think he's going to be prepared for this week. He's been getting dog washed in the media, by his coaches, by his teammates. I'm sure, they bring him up in the inside, but I mean, I've seen enough. I've been said this about Wilson. I've seen enough. And they signed Trevor Siemian. Like, you have all these other quarterbacks that you could sign, but you sign him. I don't get it. I don't get it. That's just how the NFL is. It's a business, not a very smart one with the Jets. And I think this is, last week was kind of the beginning of week 2 is the beginning of the end. I mean, they got that lucky win first week, but the Chiefs are going. I think they'll win by at least 20 points.
20.
I think this is a lock. Minus 9.5.
Spread.
It should be minus 14 spread, I think, but I think the Chiefs are going to just blow them out the water. Patrick Mahomes got his groove back last week. Like he said, T Swift in the building. They're gonna be playing like crazy because they got this new special fan base behind them, and it's just gonna be lit, And Patrick Mahomes don't really lose primetime games very often, like hardly ever. And so, with that being said, it's not even a matter of. It's just a matter of how much they win. I think they easily win by 2 touchdowns. That's a lock of the week for me as well. Now, Monday Night Football, the Seattle Seahawks at the New York Giants in New York as well.
Okay, back to
Maybe
back.
I could go to that game too. We'll see.
They like these back-to-back games.
I know. That's a lot of work for I feel bad for the field staff because that's a lot of work.
And now they changed in the middle too. So
yeah, it's a lot of work. Sheesh. They don't get paid any extra, but that's America. Giants are -1.
Weird line, I think, right?
Yeah, that is a weird line.
Giants have looked bad. Seattle, big win.
I think this is, going to be a rain on New York's parade this weekend. I don't see the Jets or the Giants winning either game. The Seattle Seahawks, they look quality, they look pretty quality. Geno Smith, he's doing all right. But Daniel Jones lost in the sauce. He looks like he's seeing ghosts as well. The ghost of Eli Manning throwing picks every single week. I just think the Seahawks, they got a better defense. They got better receiving core. They got the better quarterback. I don't see how they lose this game. I just don't see how they lose this game unless they shoot themselves in the foot and Geno starts just doing God knows what. But he's usually a good game manager. I'll take Geno. Seattle Seahawks +1.
I'm going to take the Seahawks as well. I think it's a weird line, but I think I'm going to take the Seahawks. I'm going reverse psychology here. I think that a lot of people are gonna, New York people are gonna put a little money on the Jets or the Giants, seeing the -1.
Yeah, that's
and they're gonna lose a lot of money. Seahawks +1.
Cool. And if you guys, my locks of the week, just to refresh, that if you want to win some money, this is DeAndre's parlay to play. If you want your locks in, I'm picking 3. You can pick 3 of these games or pick 4 of these games, but my locks are the Jacksonville Jaguars, no, money line. These are all my money line.
Okay,
money line. The Jacksonville Jaguars, the Philadelphia Eagles, the Pittsburgh Steelers, and the Kansas City Chiefs, and the LA Chargers, and the 49ers. I know that was like
money line parlay.
All the money line. I think, look, if you want me, I'll put 3. The Chiefs, the Steelers, and the Eagles. If you money line all those, you'll win your money, period. Chiefs, Eagles, Steelers.
The DeAndre parlay.
That's my parlay of the week, man. Do that. You'll probably be +100, maybe +150, 170 or something like that. Get your easy money, man. The Steelers ain't losing to the Texans. The Chiefs definitely ain't losing, and the Eagles are 100% winning. So
foolproof, easy money.
You got any advice for the people?
I don't have anything now, but I'm gonna cook up a little parlay next week for the people and come with that too. So
all right, y'all heard it here first. Until next time, deuces.
Peace out.